Hello, hello, hi. It is me. It is I, Small Town Didi, your Hygiene DJ over internet. I'm back. Hello, yala. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing and letting your people know about me. Rava is having the mother of all crash outs, and it's warranted. It is warranted, and basically, here's what's happened, right? Like, he accused us, rightfully so, that we have this tendency as a South African audience to either engage content where people are walking out of shacks like really poor, right? And that's the part of the content is I'm poor, humble beginnings, I think is what he also called it. Or we engage the content on this side where the people are like super wealthy and there's all of this stuff that we don't have access to being shown to us getting to peep behind the curtain and see how the 1% live and all of that stuff. And he's just been going at it. If I find some of his clips, I'll just put them here so you can get the gist of what it is that has been happening on the internet the past couple of days, because he really is posting, hey?
Like, my friends, when did we get here when it comes to vlogs? I'm a vlog, may be rich. Or you should come from humble beginnings. Because a lot of people relate if you come from humble beginnings. And then if you are rich, people will be interested in my vlogs arc. But if we middle class or standard life, I'm a vlog akabantu abawabuki. Sakumele manje sihlale emkhukhwini ukuze nibuke ama-vlog ethu.
And la, if you think when buying a new phone will make people follow you and support your content just because it's my vlog, I'll be crisp, I'll be clean. Trust me, my sister or my brother, that will never happen. Still la. Like the way they piss me off about, guys. Who said humble beginnings mean authentic content? So if someone is from middle class, their content is not authentic. This is real. So if me in middle class, that means my vlogs are not real. Like if me ngenza ukudla, right? Ngenza ukudla mina. If I use this bowl, le ngeke niyibuke ivideo yami. Angidlele kulento le. Angidlela la. Nizobuka ivlog yami. Niyabona kwadlala ingoma yesibaya. Tidinti hey. Wa. Kwadlala ingoma yesibaya. Bese uveza amakhaya. My likes. Anginamakhaya mina bafethu. Anginawo. Yeah. Yay! Ngiphatha masizoveza neinkomo.
So Rava refers to, the last middle or whatever as the middle class. And we know that that's not like a real thing that exists, especially in a country like South Africa. It just doesn't exist, you guys. And I'm trying to not be a super serious person. And I don't know, I'm trying to keep because it's been so fun. Like, I've enjoyed consuming the content and stuff, and I feel like I'm gonna come around here and make it serious, and then it's not gonna be fun once I do that. And then it's gonna be like, oh my god, it's so serious, what are we gonna do? But I see a lot of the same takes, because those are the takes to kind of have, where people are saying we're not watching why would I watch my life? Like, why would I watch me go about my daily kind of life? Which reminds me, and I can't remember who said this. Was it Frankie Geneva? Us girls who watch a lot of reality television, there was a time in life where when reality television started blowing up and there was a lot of friend groups, and you loved your friends and you thought you were so fun and so interesting, you'd be like, oh my god, it would be so good on reality television. And it's like, no, you wouldn't. It's like, no, you fucking wouldn't, because your life is a little bit more mundane and a bit more boring than you actually think it is. You're just having this one exciting day today. The truth of the matter is, life is just not that interesting. Our lives, especially, aren't that interesting. And the bulk of the people who are on these platforms, who have access to them, it looks like they are somewhat working class. So they have a life close to yours, or even if they don't have a life close to yours, your life is not aspirational enough. Because that's the thing about, these platforms. You're learning, you're watching something to aspire to, or you're going, oh, no, sister, oh my God, so poor. Nobody wants to see all that shit in the middle. Nobody wants to see your normal, regular life. When it's said and done, this is showbiz, baby. When it's said and done, this still needs to be entertaining. What the fuck is entertaining about you going about doing regular shit? People want their poverty porn, okay? Or they want people to flaunt their wealth. So now that you know, it's been confirmed as to what people want. You're left with the option to continue to give people your regular life that doesn't even have the entertainment factor. I think if also we're being honest with ourselves, we don't have the personalities we think we have. The other thing that I feel is happening here is that I've told you guys, yes, I have a hot water bottle. I do. It's not hot. It's super warm. Why is it not hot? Because I burnt myself a little bit the other day. Yes. My mom even finds out I have this thing. I thought I was breaking up with it, but the same way you went back to Taiwan, I told you guys a while ago that I hate making content. I love talking to you guys, but the process of setting up, trying to find a place in the house that will work, depending on the day of the week, the hour, who's using up which part of the house. It's not that big. Finding space is a nightmare. Trying to get out the work I have and actually do my job. All of that stuff. Stopping and doing whatever. For instance, I'm actually working on a second channel. This channel was supposed to be Small Town Foodie. For the longest time, that was just the name and there was nothing on it. That's what it was supposed to be because I'm a girl who loves to be in the kitchen, right? And the idea around it was that I live in such a small town. It's cute, it's quaint. It's a tropic, so it's got a lot of lodges and all of that stuff. And I was going to go around, try meals, do reviews, and then try to recreate some of those meals with us at home and stuff. That was the idea. Cute, hey? Then I was like, filming this much movement. No. Because why? I don't like the process. I'm not a content creator. Like, this is happening because I want to talk to you guys. I've said to you guys, when I need to get a video out, and I'm in my workspace, and I have to wheel my freezer out of the way and push this and do that so I can have a clear background to talk to you guys. Because again, I live in a regular house. Sometimes when you guys see regular shit happening in my background, you act like it's the worst thing that's ever happened. Recently, I was recording in my bedroom and somebody's like, I posted a snippet from the video. I posted it on my work WhatsApp. And somebody's takeaway was, why do you have cupboards above your bed? I'm like, yeah, I think that's what's happened here. Because why the fuck are you here? One time I was told that I can't be taken seriously because I'm wearing a robe. I was in bed wearing a robe having a chat with you guys, right? But if I was doing it in a mukuku, if I was having a conversation with you guys in my mukuku, it would be seen as authentic. But it's not when it's me. I must try to look as less poor as I am. It's a lot of pressure. I must get the right lighting because I also sound this way. So my production value has to go with how people think a person who sounds like me needs to present as well. It's so layered. And it's us doing it to us, right? Because we don't interrogate a lot of the way it is that we think and how we come to think about these things. It's us doing all of that policing of the other so-called people in the middle. It's the people in the middle. The middle that doesn't exist, by the way. In this country, literally there's a spectrum of poverty where you are in abject poverty or relative poverty. Then there's this large gap and then the rich. So the idea alone of that middle is what other people are laughing at. You're not in the fucking middle. You're poor. That's why you are here right now on the internet fighting for scraps. And by scraps, I mean likes and social media engagement among yourselves as the fucking poors. You see what's happening there, right? I'm being told, I don't like it, guys. I don't like this process. And now imagine on my second channel where I'm trying to like sort of bring back that idea, but more centered around sharing recipes and stuff like that, but also centered around entertaining on a budget and entertaining in a regular home and having people over, because I really feel like part of the reason we're losing connection is that we don't host. And I'm at an age where going out and grooving and stuff, I can't. I be falling asleep, my knees hurts, everything is wrong. I can't be there. I'm fortunate enough here at home, I don't have my own house. You guys know that. I'm fortunate enough that my mom isn't, like, my parents are not going to be like, oh, you can't bring your little friends over. My friends come over. And so I wanted to get into the habit of hosting more and document that hosting and hone in my craft as, you know, a person who hosts dinner parties and lunches and things like that, right? Because that's my wheelhouse, so to speak. I'm already so great at doing things around there. I find filming for that shit to be a headache, right? Stopping, moving this, taking this over there and doing whatever. And then you sit down and the editing is just as tedious. I'm not enjoying any of it, mind you. Not enjoying any of it. I don't have that eye to say, I'm not a cinematic hun like that. I can appreciate when I'm watching somebody's effort. That's why I told you guys that I enjoy Lelo's vlogs, because I can see she's trying to feed our eyes. I don't have that skill, nor am I interested in honing it. And that is the problem with you guys as well. But you don't want to say it. And it hurts when you put in all of that effort, being miserable the entire time you're doing it, and 5 people like your comment that you feel you put in so much work in, because you're still working off of, like, you know, this fake idea that you have out there of meritocracy. Like, people are gonna see how hard I worked on this vlog and they're gonna engage with it because I'm giving them angles. I know they fucking not, babe. They doom scrolling, and that's why you're actually mad. You aren't in the space for the love of the game. You're not in the space because you enjoy content creation. You're in the space because we all have bought into the fact that social media is the great equalizer. It's the vehicle that's going to allow us to get out of our situations. What situation is that? Poverty. You know you're fucking poor. That's why you're putting in all of this effort to try and launch a career using the internet, because you've seen it work for other people, right? That's why you're doing this. So you're not doing it for the love. You can't be in it for the long game, because it's a hard work. It is actual hard work, and you aren't being adequately, like, you know, compensated for the work that you're putting in. You don't know when it's going to come. It's just keep posting. One day it will happen. And it's like, it's okay, I'm not getting the money right now. Cool. I'm not getting the money. But then you're also not getting the engagement and the likes. What's it for then? And because you're not practicing your craft of filmmaking, you're not in it. The people who stick it out are the people that enjoy putting this shit together to begin with. That does not mean we aren't doing this thing where we engage like this content and not that content. But the people in the middle, they remind me of those of us who go to do a postgraduate certificate in education, and we end up at these schools where that's not where we wanted to be, but with our degrees we couldn't climb the corporate ladder, and now we're just there being the worst kind of educators because we don't want to be there. That's not what we're there out of need. What we wanted to do, and it shows in how we show up in that space. The people said on which video was it when I was talking about Lelwa? Oh, the big nun spazzing out. The people said your content sucks. They weren't even mincing their words. All of this, I don't want to see myself. No, your content is shit. Okay? Because you are making content gamba. And mbaya, your tummy's growling. Okay? There's no creativity. You've never even been that. Okay, so there's no way that you're gonna have a creative lens when trying to make your mundane life interesting. You're the same person in high school who was like, ish nuts and culture yambora. And today, because you have access to the internet, you think you're gonna give up. Is your content worth consuming? Because I went through some of your shit. Let's fucking talk, we're here. I went through some of your shit. I even stopped. You should have never begun, love. I even stopped trying. Why'd you even stop, babe? Outside of the fact that your life is regular, you don't possess the capability to try and give us a fresh angle and the content sucks. First of all, we really must talk about the content sucking. So what's gonna make it interesting? It is true that that's the first thing that we need to address. Is this content that you're making a noise about even good? Before we make it we love to romanticize poverty, or we just are the ice boys of rich people, valid. Both these things are also valid. Can we deal with the quality of the content as well? And I'm not necessarily talking about like camera quality and the audio being whatever, because I'm clearly not that bitch whatsoever. I'm saying, what are you doing? Like, am I being entertained? Am I being informed? What is my take here? Am I being fed in any way to address whatever need I have at the time? If it's escapism, is that happening? Am I learning if I'm coming here to try and learn something? Is your thing addressing anything? Your little vlog, what's it doing? The people said on that video, your shit sucks. Okay? I think some of you need to come to terms with that first. That maybe this shit sucks and I haven't figured out how to make it interesting, and I'm actually not as interesting as I like to believe I am. Because now it's feeling a little bit like you are, and it's what people were saying about big nuns and stuff, you are trying to shame people into consuming you. Like pity watch you or something, engage with you out of that pity of like, oh, they say we don't. What does that say about me? So let me just like it, but I don't like it. That's out of the way. Why do we like the poor people content? The people are saying online that we're engaging with that content because it makes us feel better about the position that we're in, where we're still poor. But sheesh, I'm not that poor. Let me see how a real poor is living, right? Let me peep in there, down there, and see. Mind you, it's right here. You just think it's over there. It's right here. Right here. You are a second away from the tiniest thing going awry to finding yourself there. But in your head, because you think you're in the middle, you think you're more degrees removed than you actually are. You and I, we think we're more degrees removed from that situation in a shack than we fucking actually are. You're one generation away, like removed, two at best, and even then, drowning in debt. The thing that makes it look and feel like you're so far from it is access to credit. Y'all pay them. Right? So you watch because it makes you feel better about yourself, right? But I'm gonna raise you guys this. On top of it makes you feel better about yourself to watch, I think even engaging it makes you feel like, as being a conservative nation that we are, it also makes you feel like you're doing your good deed of the day. Like, look at me be a good person. So you're doing the minimum, like providing the minimum kind of effort, experiencing the least amount of convenience, but getting to walk away feeling like you've just improved somebody's life from liking. That's a dopamine hit for you, and you really think you've done some shit. It's like right? You actually, and it's about you as well, because we have that little knock thing in us. It's not just about, oh my God, look at you. No. It is very much about, I want to feel good about myself. Look at me like this poor person's thing. You feel good about yourself. And oh my God, we've been there with her from the beginning. We've been rooting for her. We're so proud of her. You think it's saying something about you and your goodness and the goodness that is in your heart and all of that stuff that we learn from these conservative, circles that we run, that is religion as well as how we engage with things like capitalism. And when we try to point out how these things are linked and they anchor each other and feed each other, we're so extra. We're so dramatic. You guys need to make everything political. The content you consume cannot be divorced from your politics. You can't, like, most of it, this is what I don't want to do. I did not want to get to this point where it's so serious. How you consume content online is directly linked to your perception of how wealth is built and whether or not you understand that poverty is something that is, like, it's a necessity to keep the construct that is capitalism going. Honestly, if you understood or you wanted to engage a little bit with what's going on here, you would consume both these, like, extremes of, poverty and wealth. You'd consume them a lot differently. A couple of years ago, submersible gates happened. Do you guys remember the people that went down to the Titanic in a little rickety thing? Boy, what a time. What time to be alive. The meme, I don't believe we've topped that. In terms of, like, the kind of content that was coming out then. Because people are a bit more alert as to how the fuck are you a billionaire, my G? In this world where there is the fact that this kind of poverty even exists in a world where another person can be a billionaire is enough to make your blood boil with billion. We were putting out some of the best memes that week, refreshing our feeds, talking about eat the rich. And at the same time, there was another person standing next to you who belongs to the so-called middle class, whose entire argument was, oh, you guys can't just hate people because they're rich. You're wrong. We can. Because who needs a billion of anything? What the fuck are you doing with a billion of anything? Of anything? How do you get to even have a billion of anything? That requires you having to disengage. And you guys, your conservative faiths, your Abrahamic faiths love to push a little bootstrap kind of narrative, meritocracy kind of thing, and praying and all of that prosperity gospel-y type of thing. Those things get in the way of you analyzing the fact that this is by design. Okay? This thing, to keep this thing going, somebody has to be uber poor. Okay? So they can come into the workplace, and as long as you don't want to address those things and you want to exist in the little, like, delusion that you're somewhere in the middle, this is going to continue to happen. Becca Bloom has blown up, like, in the last year or so. As an American Asian girl, I think. Is she Asian? Yes, I think she's Asian. And she's getting married now, I really like, so that's the thing. This girl's parents are a Silicon Valley couple, billionaire. And because we're back in an era where conservatism is linked to people thinking you just have to work hard and you get the stuff, so you can't be conservative and, like, not like capitalism. It doesn't work. And because that's the era we're existing in right now, because believe it or not, Trumpism as, like, a thing isn't, like, contained to America. There are people in this country who feel like what we need is a Trump. Here, I've seen the meme. They think we need that so we can get rid of these other Africans, how we talk about, okay? Also, the language you guys are using around that cake picnic thing in Nigeria. Yeah, my people, I see you guys, right? So it's like, Becca Bloom has blown up, guys. I'm talking the kind of obscene, you could not wrap your head around it. But her presentation is sort of non-threatening. She's tiny, she's soft-spoken, she's like, and it's kind of like, not really braggadocious, but while being like, look how nice I have it. She's a balance where it's like, she's playing into the femininity thing very well. Her presentation is not, but to some of us who are really going through it, it's still annoying. But for other people, they're like, oh, the temporarily embarrassed millionaires, right? They're like, oh my God, she's so nice. Like, oh my God, she's so, I just want to watch guys, go look up Becca Bloom. Look her up, okay? Oh my God, Becca, oh my God. Oh, one day, it could be me up there. It could be me. Okay, let me go do my good deed for a day. Look up somebody in the shack quickly, see what they're getting up to. Mass like they think that you shouldn't do. Mass like their videos that you shouldn't do. And you feel great about yourself and you put your phone down and you go to bed. engaged in nothing there. Don't even understand why you are drawn to these things. The way that you're drawn to them. We do it, guys. Like, it's not, it's, I often feel like, and it's not a feeling, I've watched people do their videos where they're baking or decorating a cake or whatever the case is, and they are working hard, and it's great that they're working hard and stuff, but like the hygiene is questionable in the place. It's not going great, and I'll never in the comments see people be like, are you selling those to people? I'll always go through the comments to see that. And it's never that. It's all, keep it up, girl. Keep it up, Nana. Like, your business is going to grow. There is no expectation for that person to even adhere to any kind of standard of hygiene because they poor, or you perceive them as being poor. And I feel like, and then there'll be me. I'll be making something, and the first thing somebody will ask me is, why am I not wearing gloves? Another so-called middle class bitch, usually, right? Now they have a more critical eye with you, right? They've put you at a standard where it's like, first of all, gloves carry dirt. Y'all need to cut that shit out on people's videos who are working with food. You wash your hands every other minute when you're in the kitchen. You can't help it because you're feeling gunky on your hands all the time, and you're constantly getting that bacteria off. Versus if you're wearing gloves, how many times am I going to change it? And then, like, what about the waste element of it? Just dumb shit that you don't think about. But you come there to critique, and when you go to the poor person, because you think you're a good person, when you go there, you go to do a little performance of good, like, personhood, you're not going to say anything. I sent a link to one of my friends about, it wasn't even about the hygiene of this particular baker. It was about something else it was about what they were saying. And I sent it to her, and she was like, oh my God, are they like, that food is going to be sold to, I'm like, nobody in the comments is even talking about that. Nobody. They will go, they'll support a business because it makes them feel good to say they helped this person out, or they supported this business, and look at them do their little goody two shoes thing. They're not going to say anything. Let it be me. Let it be me be one thing out of place. Let it be me recording in my baking room. I'm sitting in there in my workspace recording, and you're also fucking concerned with the fact that, is that fridge open? What's that on top of your thing? Why are there cupboards above you? Like, what? Right? And then it's discouraging. Because now I've got this pressure, and that's what then leads us to doing the stuff that the LA influencers were doing. Wait, what happened? Where they were renting out mansions to try and appear away because nobody wants to watch that in the middle shit. Now I've got this pressure to try and get, like, the best. I have to make my little background cute so that people take me seriously. Like, as if my opinions are not valid if the fridge is, like, open. If my fridge doesn't close properly, now all of a sudden people can't hear what I'm saying. And it's us doing that to each other. Putting that pressure on each other. Now I must go find money I don't have to do wall paneling here so that when I sit here and talk to you guys, you can take me seriously. You have the formula. He's giving you the formula, okay? Pretend to be fucking rich, or make sure your cuck interesting if you're somewhere in the so-called middle. It's really working class more than anything, and even then it's like still poor. Or pretend you're poor. There's a guy recently whose whole content was trying to romanticize the mundane life that is a 9-to-5. And we learned that he had quit a while ago, but he rented a cubicle. Like, he rented an office space, and he was still pretending to go to this job and do this because he understood that if he told these people that I'm now making enough money from my platform, they'd fall away. They don't want to watch all of that because the connections we have with each other aren't as real as we like to think they are. and realizing halfway that you going to like the poor person's thing has elevated them too close to you. Right now you don't feel like they deserve it. The merit thing starts to creep back in because you feel like you worked hard to get yourself to the middle of poverty, right? Like, and it's like you just now you feel like you can't. Oh, they're fine now. They're good now. They don't no longer require your support. And what, like, you can't consume them and like and do whatever and feel good anymore about yourself. So you have to go on and find somebody who's like at the poverty that they were at and start engaging that shit. Because you need to feel good about yourself. Yeah. So we have the formula. Go and do that. I have footage from that other channel I'm working on that's just sitting there. Bitch, do you know when Mandela Day was? I've got footage from Mandela Day doing like a delivery for 100 cupcakes. I'm like, I don't care to sit down and edit this shit because for what? For like 100 likes or whatever. And growing on YouTube is even harder. As I said that, I don't care. I don't care because it's a lot of work. And like, guys, that thing will crush you. Like, it will crush you. You need to have like the mental strength to be like, it's okay if people don't do this, and it's okay if people, but it's actually not okay because you are clocking in, you're actively working for these platforms and you're not being paid, and it's not fair and it hurts. And you are at work every day of your life. You are setting up a camera, making sure when you get in the Chomi, can you vlog me? Chomi, can you? Relapile. That's what the crash out is. People feel like relapile. Every week it's a new bitch starting her little TikTok. You know, she can cook or whatever. Every week's a new bitch teaching us how to make chakalaka, girl. And we're like, this is gonna be the thing that, like, I'm gonna do my little side hustle with this nah, dog. What you're gonna do is just continue to be more productive, and the monies is gonna just stay here. This is it. Like, once you understand that, I'm not saying don't put in the work, but once you understand that, you will calm down. You will. I wish I was not so serious. Really, I wish I wasn't. I wish I wasn't such a serious person. But yeah, watch whoever you want to watch, but do interrogate why it is you are okay consuming certain types of media and other types of media makes you feel icky. Or you just don't care to. Me, when I see like regular shit, I'm also one of the people who's just like, I'm not interested in this. I'm not. Do you know what I'm on the internet doing? I'm on the internet searching deep tissue massages and watching somebody get the knot that I have here. Watch somebody press that knot out of them and feel like, yeah, that would be nice. That'd be nice. I'm that person. I'm watching pimples being popped. Yeah, hi guys. We all have our vices, nah? We do. But that's all.